Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Today is Thursday, September 21st, 2023. They're forecasting for a storm coming through our area tomorrow. It's supposed to be up to 40-mile-an-hour gusts and a lot of heavy rain. So figured we'd take a quick look at the trees. I'm about to move them to where they can be out of the wind and hopefully not get damaged, especially the ones that has fruit on them. I don't want them to get blown around so much that the fruit gets knocked off. So I'm moving them to a different location. But before I do that, let's just take a quick look. Yeah, so here's something real quick I wanted to show y'all. This is one of those buckets that they sell at the big box store. Well, it's after being out in the sun for a long time, not really that long, it's become extremely brittle. So I'm glad I never tried to plant like a tree or something in one of these. I see people doing it. But these buckets just aren't made out of strong enough material for that. Anyway, I figured I'd show y'all that in case you ever got the thoughts of planting a tree in one of them buckets. It's probably not a good idea. Let's start out right here. This is the grapefruit. It don't have any fruit on it. I just got this one this year. It's got lots of new growth. I do see an issue right there. I don't know what caused that, but I see where the branches split. Probably some kind of insect or something did something to it. But other than that, that tree is pretty healthy. And then the one beside it, I got at the same time, and that's a thornless key lime. I actually see one right here starting to swell up like it might go on to become a full-size key lime. But it's covered with tiny limes that most of them are going to fall off, but they're all over it. It still has some blossoms on it. Anyway, so here's our carambola. We've had some nights here lately that's been in the mid 50s. Probably one or two nights might even got into the lower 50s, and this tree definitely didn't like it. It even now has a little more wiltiness to it than it normally. It's always got kind of a drippy look, but I could tell it didn't like those. So I'm probably going to start bringing this in at night here. It won't be long before we're going to have to get all these things protected, but the most cold sensitive tree I got is going to be this carambola, or also known as starfruit, because if you get below 50 down, it's not going to be able to take that from what I've read anyway. And right over behind is our sour sops, and they're more cold sensitive than our citrus, but they can actually get down to about 40, and they haven't struggled at all with these 50-degree temps. So the one here on the left is actually the rootstock. The graft didn't take on that one. It got shipped to me, and I noticed that all the growth was actually coming from the rootstock. So contacted them, and they sent me another one, which is this one, and that graft did take. Graft on that one is down here, right here in this area. When I first got it, it had branches coming out here, two more like this one. They died for whatever reason, but that one survived. It has plenty of new growth on it. Now this one here, this was the graft right there where it's cut off, but it was dead. And this part right here is actually growing. It was these from the rootstock. So anyway, I don't know. It first when all on this one here that's the rootstock, the leaves were every one of the leaves would come out with this yellow on the edge. But as it's grown and started getting a little healthier, it actually might even be looking a little better than that one. That leaf right there looks all nice and shiny and new, don't it? Anyway, so that's the sour sops. Those are our lemon and orange tree cuttings that we started back. It's not quite a year yet, but right about 10 months ago, I guess. And they're looking good. And behind them is some red robin volunteers growing in the ground right there, and they actually might start giving us some tomatoes again. I see one right there, and some blossoms over here, so we might get some more tomatoes off of that. Yeah. Let's move on before it gets too dark, because I got, like I said, I got to get these trees moved to a different location. So this is a Meyer lemon. It's loaded up with Meyer lemons. We've showed it before. I think this appears to finally start. Appears to be finally starting to ripen the fruit. They're lightening up a little bit, and the tree itself looks like it needs a little water at the moment. But other than that, and I recently added some fertilizer. Some of the trees aren't looking like they're as healthy as they could be, so uh, time to get them fertilized. Right here next to it is the Owari Satsuma mandarins, and these are definitely showing signs of starting to ripen. They were much darker green than they are now. I expect we'll be eating some mandarins here. I don't know, probably sometime in October. There's still 7 on it, so looking forward to eating them when they ripen. And here's our other Meyer lemon. This is one of the ones that ain't looking as healthy as it could. It's quite yellow. We'll see if this uh, fertilizer I gave them will help them out. So it does have a couple lemons starting to form. These are the first ones we're getting on this one. That's the biggest one that's on this one now. But they're starting to form. And there's another, that's a Lisbon lemon. Oh no, that one right there on the right is the Bear's Lime. That one's the Lisbon lemon. There's no fruit on either one of those. They're both growing well. There's a little yellowing on this one over here. But again, hopefully the fertilizer we just gave them is going to help. Now this key lime here with a terrible shape has lots of key limes, and they are starting to ripen as well. As soon as I harvest those, I'm going to try an air layer, and I got to get this branch off, but it'll probably be part of the air layer. Maybe I'll probably cut it off though, and maybe try to do a cutting, because I'm trying to make this plant be on this part of the tree, and this is, I'm going to try to make another tree. As you can see, it's loaded down with key limes, and they're starting to get a little yellow look to them. And you didn't know, they'll actually turn yellow, not quite as yellow as a lemon, but pretty yellow. And that's when they're going to be the ripest. And people usually use limes when they aren't fully ripe. Even the regular Persian lime or Bear's lime over there, they'll turn yellow eventually when they're fully ripe. So our cowpeas, they're loving this spot right here. They ain't quite ready to give us any cowpeas. Hopefully we're going to get some before the cold weather gets to us. I think we will. And our little tomato experiment, while for the most part it's working in theory, they have rooted good. I don't think we're going to have enough time to get any full-size tomatoes from over there before the first frost comes. We'll take a quick little walk over here and look at the avocado trees. We'll hear some of the other cowpeas. They're a little older, and they've actually given us a few here and there. That's one right there is ready to be picked. These are the pink eye purple hull, and the ones behind me were Lady Cream and Florida Conch, so they're a little bit different. That's our day avocado. It's still moving along. As far as our, out of the 2 avocados, for whatever reason, bugs enjoyed eating on this one more, but I have noticed they don't really stick around on the avocados like they will on the citrus as much. They don't like it. Like the grasshoppers and things, they'll eat a little and then they move on to the citrus or find something else. This is the Wertz avocado, also called the Little Cotto. It's looking pretty amazing, all things considered. I thought it was dead back last December when we had a deep freeze. We had some failures here on power, and it got damaged pretty bad. I've showed it before, but everything you see there has grown since December because all the growth that was on it prior to that eventually died off. I'll get down here and try to show you where the original main, this was actually the original main stem. You see how much bigger that is now, but that was where the original graft grew from. And this grew back later. Yeah, so it recovered for sure. And then the ginger, there's definitely ginger in there whenever I've watered. Sometimes I wash the dirt away from it. I believe that right there might even be some ginger we're looking at. Yeah, definitely. So that spot right there is ginger just getting uncovered. So it's about time for us probably to harvest some of that ginger. That'll probably be in a video very soon. But I got a lot of work ahead of me because looking at some of my notes, and last year I think we had a risk of frost in the middle of October. Our actual true first frost didn't come until about middle of November, but we got to get busy getting everything ready. So with that, I'm gonna end the video right here. Excuse me. I'm gonna end the video right here because I got to get busy getting these trees moved before it gets too dark. So again, thank y'all for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Enjoy your day.